Does your husband get any strong reactions for having a foreign spouse? I asked him that. He said no. In one of the videos you mentioned that when you were pregnant, even though you gained the normal amount of weight for Japan, it was still a little overweight, and people told you to be careful about gaining too much weight. My question is, taking this into consideration, how important is it in Japan, culturally speaking, for women to stay thin even if they're not pregnant? Are they pressured to stay thin all the time, or is it just natural to them? I think rather than being pressured to stay thin, it's more open to talk about your weight in Japan, where I think in America, because overweight and obesity is such a problem, people are really hush-hush about it. You would never tell anyone, hey, a friend of yours, I think you're overweight, so you need to go on a diet. Like, if you said that, you would just be, like, shunned from your friend for life. But here it's like, people talk about it, people openly discuss their diets. They also have healthier lifestyles. People walk, they don't drive everywhere. They walk, they ride their bike. They walk to the grocery store. They carry their groceries back. So I feel like rather than saying it's social pressure, which I'm sure does have, it plays a role in weight anywhere in the world with television but I feel like it's more lifestyle and more of a healthy lifestyle. And when they told me not to gain weight when I was pregnant, that was more so the same thing, is that they believe that if your baby gets too big, it's going to be painful to give birth, which it is. So they think just try to stay healthy for your baby, and your baby won't get overweight, and then it'll be easier to deliver. And they don't take parental vitamins like we do in America. They sell them, but they don't give them to you at the doctor. So I think they try to consume really healthy diets while they're pregnant to take all the vitamins that they need for their baby. Hi Hannah, I think Ellie-chan starts talking early compared to my children. What do you normally talk with her about? What do you recommend for learning Osaka-ben? What do I talk about with Ellie? I don't know, I guess just whatever you would talk about with a 1.5-year-old. It's not like we have a conversation, but I just talk to her, she's eating. I'm like, are those yummy? And then I'll sing her a song, food is yummy. So it's just like trying to talk to her even when you don't need to talk, just so she hears it as much as she can. And she's really starting to recognize things. We were in the grocery store today and she pointed to the fish and was like, fishy, fishy. What are school systems like in Japan? I don't know. I never have gone to a traditional Japanese school, and Ellie's not in school yet, so I'm not the right person to ask about that. What is your favorite and least favorite thing about the country? I already answered that. But maybe I didn't say my favorite thing. My favorite thing is, this sounds weird, but the way that Japan smells. I love all the authentic aromas that are just so unique and not what I'm used to in Michigan. I'll just smell something and it'll just send that feeling back that I had when I came here when I was 17, and it was just all so exciting. How do you survive in a country without knowing the language? Oh, I know the language. What made you move to Japan? I was pregnant, but before then, pregnant and married. Before then I wanted to move, but I explained all that. People say Japan can be somewhat racist country that's not accepting of Westerners especially. Do you feel that this is true, and do you feel anything racist that's happened to you? I think I've seen more racist stuff in America, to be honest, than I have here. And I might have not experienced those things in America, but I think that in Japan it's really not that bad at all. Maybe for somebody of a different race or as a man, but for me it's not. I think that there is pressure for you to conform to Japanese culture. Yeah, that's true. Are you going to have another kid? I answered that. Can you read Japanese? Yes, but I can't read really hard kanji, the symbols. I can read basic kanji. I can read mails on phones and stuff like that, but there's a lot of kanji I don't know. Do you like anime? I already answered that. When did you decide to go to Japan? I think I already answered that too. When I was 17. How long will you be raising Ellie in Japan? I'm not sure. Will you be teaching Ellie to speak both Japanese and English? Yes. How do you balance the cultures for Ellie? Do you plan to raise her completely in the Japanese way of life, or do you plan to introduce more Western philosophies and cultures in life? It is important for you that she gets to experience the pop culture and learns the history and values of both countries. Yeah, it is important, and I think it will just happen naturally without me having to really teach her or force her, because she is already going to be going to America again for her second time. She's always Skyping her grandparents, and I celebrate a lot of American holidays with her. And I'm American, and she lives in Japan, so she naturally experiences Japanese culture, Japanese holidays, Japanese way of life. And so I think it's just going to be a natural process for her. Of course it's important, and I will teach her like what the meanings behind things are, but I don't think I'll really need to do too much teaching. Do you and your family get a lot of attention when you're out in public? Yeah. Not when I'm with Suki so much, but I get lots of attention with Ellie. Anywho, my question is, what video camera are you using? Canon FS300. I don't like it. My mom bought it for me, Mom and Papa, I'm sorry. It's really nice for them to buy it for me, but it's not very good quality, and I usually use my little camera, my little digital camera, which takes really good high quality video for everything else, for the videos of Ellie and stuff, but I'm out of space on my card, which is why I'm using this camera. I noticed you cook all Japanese food in your cooking videos, but do you ever make American meals at home for your family? Oh yeah. I made chicken tonight. I made oven fried chicken, and I make pork chops, and I make spaghetti, and I make lasagna, and I make American food, but mostly Japanese food. And when I'm yearning for something good, I definitely make pork chops. I love pork chops. Hannah, have you already done a video on bath culture in Japan? For some reason, I seem to remember seeing a video on it. Could you elaborate on the tattoo bathhouse thing? Yeah. Public pools and most pools and baths don't allow tattoos, but the local, smaller, sentos they allow you to go in with tattoos. Also, like, public owned or government owned pools, like your city owned pool, they can't discriminate. But private owned pools, private owned onsens can't allow, or don't usually allow people with tattoos in, because of the Yakuza used to have tattoos, so they didn't want Yakuza going in. But now that people are getting tattoos more often, they're starting to open up more onsens that allow tattoos. Are you into Japanese music? Not really. I just don't really like it. But there are a few bands that I like. My husband introduced me to Il Bostino, which is his favorite band, and I like that too. We went to a concert together. It's called The Blue Herb Il Bostino. It's kind of an underground hip-hop artist from Hokkaido. I like him, but I generally don't listen to Japanese music. Is it hard being a mom? I understand it's immensely rewarding to be a mother. But what advice would you give to a 24-year-old that wants to be a mother? Should I become a mother because that's what my heart wants, or should I wait and finish school, become independent? I really want to be a mother, but I'm very scared. I really thought about this one because it's kind of a big question to be asking. So I don't think anyone can make that decision for you. I understand your desire to have a baby, because I had that feeling too. And the thing is that it's probably hard for you to understand right now, but once you have a baby, your life isn't about you anymore. you'll do everything and anything for that baby. And like work all day, stay up all night, pay for the best daycare there is for your baby. But you can make it easier on yourself and on your baby by preparing now, saving your money, getting a nice place, finishing school, and then you'll have more time to spend with your baby. Time to take off work. Also, you don't know, if you're in a relationship that you want to be in the rest of your life. Because once you have a baby with your partner, you're not going to want to separate, because that's really a traumatic thing for kids to go through. And, you're going to want what's best for your baby. So, don't only think about yourself, but your baby and what would be best for your baby and your partner. So, that's why I think you should prepare yourself so you'll be ready to provide for your baby. I can't imagine if I had to raise Ellie by myself and work and go to school. So I'm really glad that Suki's working and paying for everything right now, so I get to spend these 2 years with Ellie and watch her grow up. And when I was pregnant too, because believe me, you don't want to work when you're pregnant. Like, you're tired, and some people are sick. Anyway, is it uncommon to have a big family in Japan? I think the average is like 1.5 kids, so 1 or 2 kids. So maybe less uncommon than America, but now they're starting to I know there are big families that exist because they do TV shows about these families with 10 kids in apartment this big. So, but yeah, I'd say uncommon. Who's your best friend, not counting Ellie or Suki? My best friend is Taylor, Eris, and Sarah. I know you're watching. Would asking about the story of how you and Suki met be too personal? You already mentioned that he worked at a convenience store around where your host family lived, but is there more to that story? It's not personal. Yeah, I was studying abroad, and my host family owned a convenience store, and he used to work there, and then he was friends with the family, so he came in to visit them and met me. What was the easiest way for you to learn Japanese? Was it difficult for you at first, and do you use your reading and writing skills much? There is no easy way to learn Japanese. You just have to study your ass off. Go to school and practice, make flashcards, and practice those flashcards until your eyes bleed. And practice your kanji every night before you go to bed, because they say that if you sleep after you study, you remember things better. That's all I can say. There's no easy way around it. Make Japanese friends. If you move to Japan, then you're fine, but if you plan on studying at home, you just have to study. I think it'd be really nice if you and Ellie and Suki were in a video together and made a joint comment to all of your very interested subscribers. I want to, but Suki doesn't want to. Sorry. What did you do to get in shape so quickly after having the baby? Nothing. I breastfed. Breastfeeding is the best thing you can do for yourself and for your baby. And she just literally sucked the fat right off me. And if you've seen pictures of Ellie when she was an infant, you know. It went right to her cheeks and her thighs. Other than that, I don't work out. I don't diet. I'm just lucky, I guess. My mom's pretty skinny, so maybe it's genetic. How did you move to Japan? Okay, so I didn't actually ever move, which kind of sucked. Because I was brought 2 suitcases with me when I went to study at Kansai Gaidai, and I had pretty much most of my clothes in there, and then but I didn't have any of my stuff with me except for my computer and some random crap. And then I got married, so I decided to stay here, so that was pretty much all that I had. And then I went home for a baby shower when I was pregnant, and I brought back with me, like, I think 2 suitcases, so, and then some more stuff, but no, I just bought everything that I needed here, and I'm still wearing clothes from, like, high school, and clothes that Suki bought for me, or clothes that I buy here, but, I mean, you know, all my stuff at home was just kid stuff. I didn't really need it. But anyway, I hope I answered all your questions. I'm sorry if I forgot some, and it took me all day to answer those. So anyway, keep watching and have a good night. Bye.